All right. Welcome to another episode of Over Ask presented by The Broke Agent, hosted by myself, Matt Lionetti. Today we have an extremely special guest. She is a real estate guru, a star of Selling Sunset, Miss Maya Vander. How are you?
Hi, I'm so excited. Let me tell you, Matt. First of all, I love the Broke agent. I love Eric. I know him. I saw him in one of actually, yeah, I showed my client and he was showing his client. So I'm like, oh, he's actually working. He's actually an agent. But and we said we're gonna door knock together, but it never happened.
Yeah,
So I know Eric for a long time. Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, we really appreciate you coming on. We know you're busy with, everything going on. I want to jump right into it here because you became some celebrity so fast with the show. It seemed, I mean, the show came out in
No.
2019 and it just
Yeah,
took
so
off.
yeah.
So
It
how
took
does that feel?
It feels amazing. Let me tell you, look, I do real estate. I've been doing it for 7 years, 8 years actually now. And the season one was, semi successful, but it wasn't a buzz. And I think season two and three, people watched it more, obviously, quarantine and staying home. I think that helped a lot of the show and it just got us more audience. And obviously, personal life stories for some of the characters in the show. It helped and it's great. It's nice to get recognized. I don't need it. I don't feed of it, but it's nice. And as you know, real estate in the show, it looks super easy, but it's not. So I really hope the show will give us some kind of like help, and at least for me to elevate more of my business personally.
Right. And I was going to ask that. Have you seen a noticeable change in your business since it's aired? Like, are you seeing that reward now or is it still kind of coming?
I think it's still kind of coming. Our show is different than Million Dollar Listing, right? So it's more personal stuff versus all the negotiation and real estate. So I don't know how many leads I'm going to get in the future once we have more season. Hopefully, we do. I do see the leads are coming, but also a lot of people are, in a way, are fans and they can waste your time as well. Unfortunately, it comes with the territory. So I have to sometimes be more mean to people and ask them right from the bat, are you pre-approved? Do you have a pre-approval letter or do you have cash? Like, how are you going to buy? Almost too direct, but with the show, you just don't know if it's a fan or someone who's actually want to buy. So it
Right.
comes with the pros and cons.
Right. So that must be kind of tricky sometimes, I guess, because, yeah, just like you said, you think you're getting some awesome lead, just turns out some kind of crazy fan and it leads
Yeah,
nowhere.
actually, I had recently someone that I thought it was an awesome lead for a very large amount, and I just don't know what happened. He ghosted me.
Oh, geez.
So it happens to the best of us as well. People ghost me too, and then I'm like, you know what? Maybe it was just a fan, but I learned my lesson. So every experience is a lesson learned.
Hear that, everyone? That's inspiring right there. Even Maya Vander gets ghosted. It's not just me. I feel
I
good.
totally get ghosted. Honestly, all the stuff that the broke agent is posting on his IG, I can totally relate.
Yeah.
He was posting something recently about trying to sleep when the appraisal doesn't appraise, when the inspection report comes. I literally am dealing with an inspection report now that checks all the bed boxes, bed roof, bed mold, bed, plumbing, bed. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, Eric is awesome at the Broke Agent. He says hello. He's so happy you came on
oh,
as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
How
It's,
long does
uh,
how much time does it take? Like the seasons, is it pretty much all day? Like does it take all your time while you're filming?
when we film, it's intense. We filmed last year 16 episodes, so that was almost 5 months of filming. And usually we film Wednesday through Saturday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. From like it depends how much they want to show. Let's say, for instance, me. It can sometimes be full days of filming, and it could be 3 hours. But it's generally it's pretty intense, and we have to really be there and show up. So when I'm in LA doing that, I'm losing business in Miami. And that's the reason I'm trying to expand my group here because I'm only one person, right?
Well,
So,
yeah, that's what I was saying. I can't even believe you're going, you know, you have a real estate business. You're going from LA to Miami. You're on a TV show. You have two kids and a family. And I mean, I can't even book a showing and eat lunch at the same time, and you're doing all this stuff. How like how do you manage and juggle all that?
I'm sure I'm not the only obviously working mom, and I know some moms are even have more intense job than I do. I do have a tendency to prioritize and find what's important. So I think that helps, and I'm very consistent with my action, what I need to get done, which clients take priority today, and so I just somehow manage. My son goes to daycare now, couple part-time daycare, so that helps. We do have part-time nanny for like 3 days a week, so that helps as well. And frankly, my husband now, because of COVID, also works from home, so that is helpful as well.
Right.
So we somehow manage, but I used to take my sons to showing like when he was like few months old.
Well, we
So
saw it on the show. Yeah, we saw you on the show in the stroller.
nanny, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna leave him? It's not like a dog you leave there, and leave. You have to take them. So I used to take him with me, but obviously with COVID, I'm not exposing them if I don't
No.
have to. And we did
Right.
hire someone, so it is helpful.
Right. So is the end goal to exclusively stay in Miami?
That's the end goal. I love LA. I used to live in LA 15 years. My husband got a job in Miami, so we relocate. And then the show got picked up. So first season I was back and forth. Second season I just had to rent a place, and I think we will get another season. I can't confirm yet because they didn't confirm yet, and with COVID who knows. But I'll figure out what to do to be somehow part of Selling Sunset just because it's so successful.
Yeah.
The end goal is to stay in Miami. Look, if a client call me tomorrow and wants me to help him, whatever, represent him, I'll make things happen in LA. But because I can, I have a couple of, great agents that I can refer to and work together with the client. But I don't want to be all over the place either. I really have to stay focused. And I'm still new in Miami, and I'm still trying to build my business in Miami. And I've been selling a lot, but those are more lower price point condos. I really want to try to branch out to just bigger price point and more
Right.
high end.
Right. So as I saw in one of your interviews, actually, you were saying you still do. You'll still take a lease. You'll still take
Yeah.
$400,000 condos. It's not just ultra luxury stuff that you're doing.
No, because like I do Zillow. I know Eric always makes fun of Zillow, but Zillow for me in Miami actually work. And a lot of the leads are condo leads, and they're all part-time people who wants to spend 400, $500,000 on condos. But I take them because I have the capacity to take them, including a list, because you don't know that list will hopefully will buy and represent, want me to represent them. Those small condos, maybe their parents or their cousins or whatever want to buy something bigger. So you just never know. Now, granted, I don't take every client. I also want to make sure those leads are, will be serious and convert to like at least a sell.
Right.
Here we get paid 3%. So 3% on a $400,000 condo is still, 12, $13,000. It's a lot of money.
Hmm.
So why would I say no to that? Eventually, my goal is to develop my Maya Vander group and have a couple of agents working with me. And then I can potentially give them some leads and I don't know, maybe do 50-50 or something and try to
Right.
focus on more expensive homes. But right now I do what I do to make a name for myself here in Florida.
That's awesome. I love that. With the show, because we were just talking about deals, are the deals already when you are going to film a show? Do you have deals? Do you have kind of houses and clients that you know you're going to use? Like, are those deals done already? Are they actually getting done during the show, or are they kind of
So
placed there?
yeah, that's the tough part with the show because not everybody are going to buy a house in 3 months, especially if they
Yeah.
spend 5 to 6 million. Sometimes we do have to reshoot. Let's say a deal that I closed the development stuff like, and we closed it, I think, a couple of weeks before. We had to film it with the client, and it's very hard to bring all the pieces together when we film in those 4 or 5 months.
Mhm.
First season was even harder because we were only there for 3 months. So sometimes we have to reshoot a deal that happened. Sometimes it happened organically and sell is happening. So it really depends.
Right.
But I think it is the tough part of the show because you film for months, and if someone wants to look for 2, 3, I mean, I work with buyers sometimes for 1 year and 2 years.
Hmm.
Gosh, I mean, they don't buy. So, the, the,
I'm the
the, the
same.
luck. And, you're right. I mean, in the meantime, I moved to Miami. I had two babies. I filmed a show, and they still didn't buy. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, let
Yeah.
me tell you, when me and my husband bought the house, we weren't even looking to buy, and we like it, and we bought it. But I'm like that. I make a decision very quick, and I don't change my mind. But most people are very, they hesitant. They're not
Yeah.
sure. So it's hard on us to put everybody together right when we film.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the challenge with the show.
Right. Right. That's how my wife and I were too, actually. We bought the first thing we saw. The very first one we saw, we bought. So I'm just kind of, if I like it, I go. And I guess
I know.
that's,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, no, that's just the real estate in us, I guess. We just know what we're looking for.
You know, it's true. And sometimes I tell my client, look, you don't have to look at million places. If you walk to a place and you feel it and you have a good feeling, go for it.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe it will take you 10 places, but maybe it will be the second place. So maybe it will be the first place. You just don't know.
Right.
But I wish all the buyers were like that. So
Yeah, I know. I wish they were all like us, but unfortunately, it's not always
I
that easy.
know.
But
Yeah.
so we posted that you were coming on the show. We had a ton of people just freaking out because you're very loved on the show. You're actually my wife's favorite
Ah,
member
yeah, the
of
show
the
is
show.
very big in Canada, by the way.
Yeah,
It's huge
huge
in
in Canada. You're my you're tied with you and Jason are tied for me. I
No.
no, but it was so cool to see because I had a bunch of DMs when we said you were coming on, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, I love her. She seems so sweet. She seems so down to earth." And I just wanted to, tell you that because on a reality show, that seems like it's very hard to keep that look down to earth and seem so nice and I just wanted to tell you that because that's what everyone said. They said, "Oh my god, Maya is like the sweetest one, and she seems so incredible." So, congratulations
Yeah,
on.
I guess thank you. I guess I'm a good actor, huh? Okay. No, it's easy because people look at us as a celebrity, but at the end of the day, I do real estate. So I used to just do show and go and see people, and I don't see a reason for me to be with my nose, up in the sky, because at the end of the day, selling sunset is great, but I don't know how many seasons we're going to film. I always call it the 5 minutes of fame, which I'm lucky to be part of. But I always think staying humble and just be who you are is just to do. I mean, it's not that difficult. So
Right.
thank you.
Well, you do it
Also,
very well, and even I mean, just talking to you a bit before the podcast and emailing, like you really are just that genuine person. So that's awesome to see, because I mean, there's a lot of big personalities on the show as well, um, with Christine and
I know.
and
I
and
I was gonna say, are you referring to someone blonde? Kidding. I love Christine though. I
yeah,
do.
is
She's
she
great.
is she always that kind of polarizing in your face, or is it kind of amped up for the show, or how does
I,
that?
y- you know, No, she can be extreme, but I think at times she can be very calm and look, she's sweet and she's extremely smart. But I think she's taking advantage of the show and the publicity and she's doing the right thing because she's trying to be more, I guess, into the fashion and other stuff but real estate. So for her, to put the fashion and all that stuff and potentially, I mean, frankly, if it wasn't for Christine, I think our show would be boring. I wouldn't provide any drama, and neither the other girls. I think Christine is very colorful, but I think she is more calm in real life. I do
Yeah.
think so.
Well, it definitely adds a great dynamic to the show. I mean, she kind of seems like the fuel to the fire, and then she can get everyone else going from what she does. I mean, I really enjoy the
Yeah,
show. And I think there's parts of it, yeah, like you said, it's not always as easy as people make it look, but it's a little more raw in places, which is nice to see. And I think that's why it's caught on so well compared to maybe some of the other real estate shows on like TV and stuff. I think that I think it caught on because it's a little raw. There's like swearing, which I like, and yeah,
I
it's a
think
good
because
time.
it's Netflix, right? They don't have to censor stuff. I think cables maybe they have to. The cable need to censor you. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, yeah, it's a little more cookie cutter. Where this you can go a little off the path a bit. So That's nice. I mean, that's cool to see. And like I said, I really enjoy it. My wife, and during quarantine, it was a good watch in 2020. We had 2 seasons, so that was nice.
I know. And now I don't know. Even if we get picked up for the next season, I have no clue when we're going to film because California is not that great with COVID right now.
Oh,
So who knows?
I was going to ask about that. So you haven't talked about a fourth season at all, or filmed anything, or
There are guessing about fourth season and speculation, which look, the show was extremely successful. So I'll be shocked if we don't get renewed. I think we will. But I think things are up in the air as far as production, at least with our show, and unless they want to shoot, open houses with masks and being safe, I don't know how it's possible to do any of that.
right?
Sure, maybe you can get tested all the time. Maybe that's a solution. But I let production figure it out. And once they're ready, then I have to figure out what am I doing and how am I going to do the back and forth
Yeah,
between LA and Miami again.
it's a
So
lot. It's a lot. Um, as
now,
as I posted about you coming on, we had a lot of people ask, and we need to know if you can tell us: did Davina ever sell the $75 million house? Sorry to interrupt this incredible episode with me and Maya Vander and not Eric.
I'm here
But
now, though.
yeah, unfortunately. But we have to let you know that this podcast is brought to you by the PLS, a new platform about to take the real estate world by storm. Practically every agent in the country is pissed off with what Zillow and the third party platforms have done to our industry.
I'm pissed off.
Yeah, well, it's time to take the power back.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you know what? I'm on team PLS. I don't know about you.
I'm on Team PLS.
Yeah. PLS is like Gryffindor.
I'm a Slytherin.
So you're Zillow.
No, I'm
Zi-
like I'm Snape.
Y-
I'm secretly good.
Okay.
I'm helping. I'm secretly helping. The PLS is Gryffindor. I'm Snape, and I'm secretly helping Gryffindor to killing Zillow, which is Voldemort.
From the inside of
Ooh.
Zillow.
Yes, exactly.
Incredible. Well,
That's right.
that's amazing. Because you know what? Zillow wants to make agents obsolete. Well, let's make Zillow obsolete.
Specto Patronum.
Yes.
Something like
What?
that.
What's
The Harry Potter spell. The death spell.
a platform who lived
Right.
come
Exactly.
to die. Okay.
Link in bio.
Did Davina ever sell the $75 million house?
no. But I gotta tell you, Davina is one of actually my closest friend, and I
Okay.
talk to her all the time. And I know people give her a lot of shit because of what she said to Chriselle in the last season, or just in general. I think the editing wasn't helping to Davina because she's been doing real estate for 15 years. She has her license the longest of all of us. She was selling a lot of nice high new developments. So she's a very serious agent.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, the show did not show that, and they show a listing that was overpriced from the beginning and was off market. It's very tough to sell a listing off market for 75 million. I mean, sometimes it takes me to sell 7 months, $500,000 condo. So imagine
Yeah.
like $75 million house. Like, where do you find those buyers? They're
Yeah.
not like just falling from the sky. I
No.
wish.
Yeah,
So
that'd
no,
be
it didn't
unreal.
sell. And I think Adnan, yeah, but it was a good drama for the show. And everybody
Yeah.
like, oh, she didn't sell it. I'm like, you go try sell a $75 million house.
Well, that's just it. You
Not
go try and
easy.
sell any house, right? It's easy to point fingers until you actually go and try and do it. But like you said, it's a storyline at the end of the day, and it caused a lot of drama, and it was fun to watch and see unfold.
I mean, I had a good time watching it because look, we don't know what you guys gonna see until kind of like a week before they actually air the show. So we have no clue how they edit things. And when we watch it, I think it's great and it surprised all of us the way they put everything together and editing. So I mean, watching Adnan, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is like he's scary. He's a scary seller. So it's fun to watch, and we again, like, it's the way they put the editing is just amazing in the show.
Yeah, that
The way
must be
they put it.
scary though. You never know how they're gonna paint your character that season.
it is a risk because I can roll my eyes on a different comment, and then they will use the fact that I roll my eyes and put it on a different comment, and then I look like a bitch all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And and I think they did it a little bit to Davina because she's really not a bitch. She's just direct, but she's not a bitch.
Right.
Um, and frankly, probably to all of us, they put some stuff that a conversation can easily take out of context, and but that's what made Selling Sunset.
Yeah. I mean, it's loved by many now. So, I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So you said you are close with Davina. Would you say you're the closest with Davina from the show? Out
I
of
talk to
every.
Davina a lot. I do talk to Davina a lot, and also professionally. She, she's in real estate. I think more full time. I message Krisha here and there. I message Heather and Christine as well. I spoke with Amanz a few times. And I just saw Mary, Jason, and Brad. They were all here in Miami. I try to stay in touch with all of them, despite the fact that I'm in Miami. I don't
Mhm.
talk to them every day on the phone, but um, enough, engagement with messages and social media, and we're all in a group chat as well if something happens, and we about whatever Selling Sunset. So
Right. You were saying Christine is looking to move more into that fashion. Uh, she likes the fashion. She wants to move more into that kind of space, I guess. Is there anything you're looking to kind of, leverage off of the show? Because I know you're into yoga and fitness and things like that. Are you looking to kind of start something outside of real estate?
I am. It's very early. It's not necessarily yoga and fitness. Potentially, look, the show. People laugh. Oh, those girls, real estate. But the show gave us a huge exposure and
Hmm.
a huge opportunity to do other things. Whether if it's fashion, whether if it's develop your own product, whether if it's more clients with real estate, whichever it is. So I am trying to take it to the next level. With the product, something to potentially for babies and kids because I'm the new mom and all that. So I think that makes more sense for me. I do teach Pilates. I do it for fun. I was just teaching actually today, like a client for private. So I love teaching Pilates. I love that stuff. So there are other stuff that I like, and it's my hobby. They are my hobbies besides real estate. Um, so I'm looking into it, but it's not an easy thing to do and just develop, let's say, a product tomorrow. It takes a lot of like resources and obviously some kind of like investment. So we shall see. It's very early, and I still want to also do my Maya Vander. I was gonna say my Maya Vander O group, but I mean my Maya Vander group in Miami. So that's potentially recruiting agents. So it's a lot of things that I want to do and accomplish. Um, but we will see.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, you should take advantage of it, right? You got, like you said, you have this amazing platform now. So, you should try a couple different ventures and kind of see what happens. I mean, there's obviously different things that you're passionate about. So that's super awesome that the show gave you such a great platform. How, how
And
did,
another thing, yeah,
yeah, go
mhm,
for it.
go ahead.
What were you
No,
going to
so
say?
another thing also speaking of platform and exposure, looking at all the stuff in the news and people are standing in line for food with COVID, there are so many people that need help. So I am looking into how am I going to get involved in this sort of charity and, um, you know, used my platform and exposure to actually create more awareness and sense of, help people. I mean, so many people need help.
Right.
Um, it's just a lot of things that I'm thinking about. Okay, how am I taking Selling Sunset to also help people as well? Besides just donate clothes to Goodwill and that stuff.
Right. Well, that's so nice to hear. I mean, I'm glad that someone as great as you got the platform that you did because you really want to do some good with it. So it's nice to see, nice to hear. I love that. And you have this platform, but there's tons of people a part of your brokerage. Like there's more people than we see on the show that's a part of the Oppenheim Group. So, right,
Not
there's
a ton, not a ton. Yeah, you have Graham, which is a big YouTube star. He's
yeah.
great. Angelica, Eric, and Jamie, they're all Jason's assistant. Then you have Peter, is another agent, and I guess his fiance is an agent at the O Group as well. There are a couple. Nicole, she was in the show a couple of times. I think the show was really trying to focus on the girls in the
Okay.
show.
Because I was going to ask,
Yeah.
did you have to audition within the team, or it was just kind of, you wanted to focus on?
So originally, when we filmed the demo, it was the original cast and two other girls. Nicole, we saw her, she was Mary's friend, and I don't know, she might do more stuff next if we film another show. And another friend, another girl, my friend Joanna. Joanna left the O group, and then Nicole decided that she doesn't know if she wants to do TV or not. So we were like Mary, we were all with Jason. We were all licensed in the company, so no auditions. The only one that joined kind of like last minute was Chriselle, and I guess Divina, because Divina was brought to Jason to work on the in-house development and establish that. And then Chriselle was the last person to join the O group, which obviously it worked out perfectly because she is the star of the show. I mean, I would say she and Christine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And she already had the big, well, you showed it on the show with everything that went on with Chriselle, and she had the acting career before. So I guess that helped
Yeah.
kind of be, a front leading role on the show. Just a couple more things here, because you're, like I said at the beginning, you've kind of rose to fame real fast. You're still a realtor. I heard that you still door knock. Is that true?
So I haven't door knock in Miami because generally it's hot and humid here. But I used to door knock a lot in LA before the show, not since the show came out. And I want to do, obviously, drive around construction site. I think it's great. And if I see someone standing in the construction site, I will definitely ask if he's the owner and if they want to sell. I used to go door knock a lot in LA. Like, I want to say at least 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for probably good 2 years, 2.5 years. Like literally
Wow.
every neighborhood in LA, I was door knocking. It wasn't as lucrative for me personally. I really wanted to get business and leads from it. Sorry, the train is, I'm parking here like to do the podcast and the train is going up.
Yeah.
I got a couple of listings, not a lot, and potentially a represent a buyer. It wasn't as lucrative for me. And now with the show, I feel like if I go door knock, it's almost like, what is she doing here? So I
Yeah.
did give up the door knocking, unless it's a construction site, which I know something is being developed, and it made sense to check what's the status. Is someone going to live in here, or are they going to flip it and sell? So that I still do, and still in Miami. But door knock house to house, gosh, door knocking. I mean, people yelled at me, they cussed at me. I mean, it was like no. But most people were nice too.
Well, that's true. I mean, if you came knocking on my door, I'd be like, oh shit, it's Maya Vander from Selling Sunset. I'd be freaking out, calling my wife. I wouldn't really, think of selling my house. I would just probably ask for a selfie. But
I know that's yeah, right. I mean, look, I think for new agent, and I do some Zoom stuff. Look, as a new agent, I didn't have money to spend in marketing, and that's a free way to put yourself out there. So it can cost you maybe just to print a flyer with some market data, but if you go and you door knock and you introduce yourself and you just talk about the neighborhood or whatever neighborhood you pick and the comps, it's a free way to meet someone. You don't have to spend tons of money, and all you have to spend is time. But this business, you have to hustle. You have to put your work into it. It's not like, oh, boom, and let me put a nice dress and sell a house. It just doesn't work that way. And it takes time. It really takes time. And even for me, sometimes I go 2 months without closing. I mean, when we filmed the first season of Selling Sunset, I had a very tough year. I was between LA and Miami. I was focusing in the show. I lost business in both cities. It wasn't as easy. So
yeah, it's always a roller coaster, I'd say. I mean, like
oh
you
my
said,
gosh.
actually Eric posted about this today. You can feel like you're on top of the world for a month, and then you don't have a closing for 2 months, then you feel like shit, and then you get another big
Yeah,
close. It's just up and down, right? So
it is. And look, if we would get $1 for every person who got their license after they watched Selling Sunset, I would probably be a millionaire by now.
oh my god.
Because everybody watches and thinks it's so easy, but in reality, it takes time. Like it took me probably good 4 years in LA, 4 years, until I start to sell more, on more consistent base. And then on my fifth year, we moved to Miami. So now I had to start everything from scratch in Miami. And I'm like, I don't know a single person in Miami.
Yeah.
So when we moved, so it takes time. You have to be
Yeah.
consistent.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I can just imagine it's taken me so long to, grow my name in my market. And now you did that. And then you totally went to a new market. And now you're, like you said, you're starting from scratch.
And by the way, that's why I told my husband, if we relocate again for your job, I'm just going to teach Pilates. I'm not going to get another license. Although now with the show, things will change, but I can't just start from scratch in a new city every couple of months. I mean, it takes every couple of years. It just takes years to build business. So
No, if I had to move, I'd already be out. So good on you for keeping. I'd be like, fuck this.
yeah.
I can't do it. I'd probably teach Pilates. I've never taught Pilates, but maybe I'd go try and teach some Pilates or something. But
Sorry.
that's amazing. I want to leave with this and end with this. Because you have inspired a lot of people to get their license, like you said. If you get your license today, I know you're already touching on it a bit. What would be the first thing you do if you got your license today and you're a brand new agent?
I would do, well, with COVID, unfortunately, things have changed a little bit, right? But I would do, if you do not have money for marketing and online, then I would do just the old school stuff, like open houses to meet people. I would do a lot of networking, just be out and about. Everybody that you talk to, give your business cards, stay in touch with people. But again, it's a process. I highly recommend online marketing, whether if you do Zillow or realtor.com or whatever. For me, it really, I mean, LA is tough, but Miami, for me, it really worked. Because everybody look online these days. So I think online marketing is great as well. Social media too. Look, my Instagram now is a bit different because obviously with the show, we get different opportunities, but post, don't post only real estate, but post, your personal stuff and then real estate. So always remind people you're doing real estate because people will forget you're in real estate. I mean, Eric posting his broke agent, oh, we forgot you're a realtor, like we bought a house. So, and it's true. I mean, so always post and remind people you're in the business.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I would say, I mean, I would be posting exactly what you said about social, posting not just your business, but, things that can make people relate to you and things that you're passionate about, like, things you're passionate about, things I'm passionate about, and that's how people relate to you off social media. It's a great tool.
People will do business with, yeah. And, people will do business with people they like and trust. So they already, let's say, if you have a dog and someone else have a dog, they already feel that you guys are connected because you love dogs. I mean, it's just like, you have to be creative and think about also like your hobbies, like start from, if you like to play golf, like network within your golf club, whatever. If you're in a mom group, it's your mom group. So it's always like a way to meet people.
Right.
Although now with COVID, I don't know, everybody they're kind of like in their own thing.
Yeah, no one's meeting.
In a lockdown.
You can Zoom like us. That's pretty much the extent of meeting. Well, Maya, like I said, we really appreciate you coming on. We know you're super busy. Is there any final words, anything you want to promote right now? We'll be pushing this on the Broke Agent page and everything. You have anything you want to promote, a listing, anything like that?
I just want to promote, don't forget milk in your car from the groceries because your car will stink. And that's what happened to me. And I'm sitting in my car now and it smells like terrible milk.
Oh,
anyways.
I'm so sorry. That's probably my fault.
No. I went to the groceries a couple of days ago and I forgot that I bought milk and it was in my trunk. And like a couple of days later, I'm like, what is that smell? And it was like terrible milk that's been sitting here for 4 days. So that's what my advice. I'm kidding.
All right. You heard it here first. Maya Vander says, words of wisdom, don't leave milk in your car, especially in Miami.
I know, my gosh. No, I have a listing now. It's under contract though, but thank you. It's a $4 million house in the beach. And it's under contract, but we still have inspection contingency. So fingers crossed.
Good luck with it all. I'm sure it'll go great. Congratulations on getting that into contract. And again, we really appreciate you coming on. You're super busy, and we appreciate you coming on Over Ask. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and enjoy. I guess staying home, right? Safe. Stay home safe.
Yeah.